nation. I think Dennis show is over, so please do leave the studio. I've got big stories to look at. I've got a topical conversation the 4 o'clock hour, and I've got another topical conversation the 5 o'clock hour. I mean, all would focus on local government administration because we are very, very close to the local government elections in Rivers State, and we want to see how prepared you are, how prepared the institutions related to local government administrations are as well. So we would have all of these conversations. And of course, the 6 o'clock hour, the major news will come your way first. And after that, we will have open season. 4 o'clock, the top of the hour, we would have the business update. We would have a news update at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. So right now, I'm ready for you. Are you ready? Let's begin the conversations then. We're live on Facebook, Nigeria Info PH. We're live on YouTube, Nigeria Info PH. And we're active on X, Nigeria Info PH. Okay. First big story. You must have talked about this with other radio personalities or even discussed it on social media, but it's one of the biggest stories emerging from news platforms today, and it is that the federal government, through the FCCPC, has given traders a month window, a month ultimatum to crash food prices, which, in the opinion of the federal government, is that some people are increasing the price without any good reason. They're doing it exorbitantly, I beg your pardon. They're doing it exorbitantly. I mean, the FCCPC, in the article I read, gave an example where an item sold for about, how much was it? About 149,000 naira in Texas, US, is being sold almost 1 million naira in Lagos. For what reason? He was asking. For what reason? And so I'm now thinking, the price of a cup of gari, the price of a cup of beans, the price of a cup of rice. Could this also be the reason why the price is so expensive? As a matter of fact, too expensive for you and I to afford. Could that be the reason? Or could it be that, hey, the policeman standing on the road collecting tithes and offering, or taxes, whichever one you like to call it, could it be the insecurity in the farmlands? I mean, was it not yesterday when we read a report from was it Omagwa now? I can't remember. I think it was from Ikwere local government area, where the farmers therein were complaining bitterly about the fact that they can't go to their farms because cows and other animals had destroyed their farmlands. I think it was yesterday. And so could it also be that the prices that we get, as expensive as it is, may just be because of all of these issues, food insecurity or insecurity in the various farmlands? Could it also be as a result of flooding? Could it be as a result of the, if this was a pidgin radio station, would have said the Ogbonge item that affects every other item. And of course, I'm talking about petrol, which is selling at 1,000 naira for a litre in most parts of the country, or even more. And if petrol affects every other thing, it means it also would and should affect agriculture, transportation of goods from the farm to the marketplace. All right. And so if petrol is as expensive as it is, could that be the reason for the expensive food price? And if petrol is one of the reasons, if insecurity in the farmlands is one of the reasons, if flooding is one of the reasons, then is it going to be feasible? Is it going to be possible for traders to crash the prices? I don't know. I don't know how this will work. I don't know if the FCCPC would be able to identify what the cost of production is for a lot of items. I mean, we need to look at it from that angle as well. I don't know if they'll be able to do that. But let's see how it plays out, really. Let's see how it plays. Do you think it's a good call? And by the way, I mean, this is not the first call for a crash of price that the FG, the federal government, is calling for. The FG called for a crash in price when you talk cement. There was the talk about a crash in price when you talk medicine, setting medicines. There was the talk of a crash in price as it relates to certain essential food commodities. All of those things are yet to become a reality. So I'm wondering if, I mean, this is also not the first time that the federal government is coming to talk about the price of food items and talking about how it intends to crash the price. Was it not in June, July? Was it in April? The federal government, the president himself, talked about regulating the prices of food items. I mean, many months later, we're still where we are. As a matter of fact, food items are even increasing in price. But what do you make of this? Because it's becoming really difficult to feed, most especially for those who are feeding a family. It's really a daunting task. Very Herculean task right now. I want to get your thoughts, really. But let's quickly look at my second big story. And it's one conversation I'd like to have with you. Some of you already mock me whenever I bring this conversation to the fore. And I'm talking about the refineries. So I just mentioned petrol selling at 1,000 naira, per liter for a liter. And some would say it is because we removed subsidy before fixing refineries, right? And I'm looking at it. We've been told stories. I mean, I was one of the most faithful, how do I put it now? I was one of the people with the biggest faith when you talk the refineries working. In January, I argued with a lot of people. As at March, I still argued. But by, May, May, my faith began to wane, began to, decrease, abate. And by June, I don't know, I just couldn't talk about it anymore. And now we've been told that September would be the time when the Port Harcourt refinery will start. We're waiting, we're watching, we're hoping. I don't know if my faith can carry me one more lap. However, today, NNPCL has come out to say, as reports, are claiming that they are looking for private entities to help manage the Warri and Kaduna refineries. I wonder why they don't want to manage the Port Harcourt refinery, but they're looking for private. I don't think they want to privatize it per se. They just want people to come help. It's like I'm thinking of a good example now. I think it's like in the UK, there is the one. I think it's the health system, the health insurance has been run by private entity. I'm trying to remember. Even their telecommunication system. If I remember correctly, I'm trying to get my facts right. But someone who's in the UK can help me with all of those facts. Some of these government, institutions are sometimes run by private entities, not necessarily privatizing it, but some kind of concession. I think that's the word I'm looking for. And they're looking at ensuring that the Warri and Kaduna refineries operated by private entities. Now, I believe they are trying to ensure that the money that has been spent into the rehabilitation, to the refurbishing of the refineries, do not go down the drain. I guess they are trying to ensure that they get the best of the refineries. I wonder if this is the best move, because when you look at LNG, the Nigerian liquefied natural gas company, right? When you look at it, it's been run by private company or companies, and you see how functional to an extent that company is way better than refineries. So I guess that's the path they want to toe. But is that the way? I remember, Atiku had said he wanted to privatize, and, a lot of people mocked him and said, oh, but really, and I've also talked about selling off the refineries, and a lot of people mocked me as well. But could this be the solution to it? And why is the Port Harcourt refinery not part of the refineries that they want to privatize? I do have a commercial. When I do come back, I'll tell you some more. To stay tuned. I am Kalada Kurubatabo. Thanks for staying tuned to Hard Facts and 92.3 Nigeria Info. So I was just telling you about the big stories, and I listed real second one. Now, let's do the third one. By the way, I want to get your thoughts as it relates to the first. I mean, the first one I'm asking, with the current price of petrol, is it possible to crash the food prices or, the prices of items in the marketplace? Because traders have been asked to crash the prices. Is it possible? Let's see. Number two big story, NNPCL to, allow private operators run Warri and Kaduna refineries. What do you think about that? I mean, I've said, I remember sometime this year, sometime last year as well, I gave you a breakdown of how much has been spent as it relates to rehabilitating the refineries, all three of them, or should I say four of them. Right from Abacha's time, as head of state, the amounts of dollars that have been pumped into, the repair of these refineries. The question is, should we not just privatize it? Should we not allow, some private operator, take control and to ensure that we are, it will bring about competition. If we have one private operator running Warri, another private operator running Kaduna, we've got the Dangote refinery, we've got the refineries in Akwa Ibom State, we've got two in Edo State, we have the modular refinery upcoming in River. I hope it's completed, by the way. I hear there is one being worked on in Bios State. There will be competition. We will have, so if we have all of these private entities running, don't you think it's a good idea? But moving on, because my time is fast spent, I've got my third big story, and it's about security. Now, because so much has been happening locally, when I say we, you and I, on Hard Facts, we've failed to touchlight the current national security how do I put it now? National security issues, in the sense that we've seen a lot of reports in recent times about kidnapping and abduction along the, for instance, Kaduna Abuja Kaduna Highway. We've heard about the Lagos Ibadan. Doctors recently were abducted, right, on their way to, was it Enugu, from the northern part of the country. A lot of kidnappings and abductions have happened in the northern part of the country. We've seen some of these abductions happen in the southeast part of the country. Abductions, and the report that I want to highlight is a scary one, but then it shows the level of poor security architecture in the country, and also how many people are beginning, not beginning, I think beginning is the wrong way to describe it. Many people are now very much directly involved in crime. So this report says Nigerians paid 1.04 billion naira as ransom to kidnappers in 1 year. What a lucrative, I dare say. We've seen argument on social media. I think someone posted it on the police PRO, not in River State. Is it Adejobi? I think Adejobi is his name. I'm talking about the National Police PRO, and on X, they posted on his X page, drawing his attention to kidnappers who had just been paid ransom a while ago, flaunting the monies that they had collected. So I guess that's becoming very much a lucrative business. It's worrisome. It is something we need to checkmate. We need to nip it, or else it will be a monster that we cannot control. And it's similar to how militancy started in the South. If it's not nipped, if the underlying issues are not worked on, or solutions are not preferred, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a big problem. It's going to be a big issue, and it's something that I do think the Nigerian government or governments at all levels, federal, state, and even the local government should look into, because I'm looking at the report. and I'm going to read a bit of it, unlike the other big stories. It reads, Nigerians paid 1.04 billion naira ransom to kidnappers in 1 year. A new report by SBM Intelligence has shown the security intel gathering firm between July 2023 and June 2024 said the Federal Capital Territory had the highest ransom demand, followed closely by Lagos and Kaduna. When comparing geopolitical zones, the Southeast has the highest ransom paid and collection rate overall, SBM stated. So to our brothers in the Southeast, this conversation is really for you, because I know some of you can hear me from Aba, some of you can hear me from Warri, some of you can hear me from the different parts in the Southeast. Some of you are listening via the app. So yeah, Nigerian Info, by the way, you can download the app on your Play Store or your Apple Store. The question then is, what do we really do? What can we do to be able to stop? Okay, we can't really stop, because when it's in other countries, there are kidnap cases, we can really stop. But how do we reduce it to the barest minimum? What can we do? What are the things that the government and we the people need to look into to be able to? Because like you've seen, the report, or you've heard the report, Southeast, our neighbors, had the highest ransom paid and collection statistics. Okay, so I'm going to the phone lines now because time is fast spent. 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, 0817 923 0007. Those are the call numbers. WhatsApp number 0809 030 6416. That's the WhatsApp number. Send me your WhatsApp messages. Remember, we're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube, and we're active on X. I'm gonna look at Facebook right now while I'm waiting for the call screener, to take down your name and your location. Let's see. Do I have? Oyema Ima says, good day, my wonderful anchor man. The FD is pretending as if they mean well for citizens, especially the downtrodden. If actually they mean what they're saying now, I humbly advise they reduce the pump price to at least 200 naira per litre, and virtually everything will fall into its normal place. They should give it a trial for once. God bless you. There's Donny King says, fast crash fuel pump price. All right then. All right, thank you very much. A few comments on Facebook as of now. Let's go back to the phone lines and see what we have. I've got Isaac Ken from Ubumini. Isaac Ken, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon, Isaac Ken. Welcome.
Canada, did you see how confused and frustrated our leaders are?
Tell me about it.
For them to tell us, or to tell their agency, to go for giving one time for people to reduce their price of commodities, as if they don't know exactly the cost of the inflation. How far have they gone to our refineries? Your second subject matter now is concerning how to privatize the Kaduna and Delta refineries, because they don't know what to do any longer. These are the ways they want to shift our attentions. Let it be as if there are some plans on ground for them to ease the suffering of the masses. It is quite unfortunate. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Ezekiel. I've got Clinton from Warri. Clinton, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Yeah, NNPCL to hand over Warri and Kaduna Refineries to private operators. Well, is that better than leaving it to be like that? Because we've been saying that if our refineries are working optimally, and these products are in the market sufficient enough for Nigerian consumers, I think the price will go down.
Okay.
So if that is the solution, the long-term solution, giving it to private operators, because if I'm not on a business, if I own a business, I will take proper care of the business. So that would work. Then the Port Harcourt refinery, what happened to Port Harcourt refinery? Will it be the only one owned by federal government?
Maybe.
Then going forward, this food price to crash in 1 month. I don't really understand what they are trying to do here. When the price of PMS have not gone down, how do you expect those traders that bought the prices of commodities at high rate to sell now, to crash their prices without making profit? It makes no sense. Then finally, Nigeria paid 1.04 billion as ransom. Who is keeping stock, Canada?
The intelligence, or should I say, statistics company, I guess they did. They followed the stories. They audited and wrote down. Because people will come and say, "Oh, I paid XYZ amount. I paid XYZ amount." So maybe they calculated all of that. And
it's all right. What is important is that all Nigerians should take security as their own personal business. Until we do that, we will not get it right. Then the security agencies must be up and do it, because for me, those police checkpoints should be brought back, not just one taking it on the road. The three police officers that are professional in discharge of duties to do their work diligently, so that we can stop this particular problem in Nigeria.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I've got Obina from Irebe. Obina, welcome. Let's get your thoughts, please.
Yes, good afternoon to you, Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you.
Yes, I think on the issue of the federal government telling marketers to crash down the prices of goods and services, in as much as I can attest to you that marketers are also in the habit of increasing prices anyhow. But I think the federal government could have tackled this issue from their own aspect.
Which is?
Hello?
Which is? When you say tackle, which is?
Yes. As I am talking with you now, the prices of fuel, PMS, diesel, keeps on going up and down every day. The prices of dollar keeps on going up and down. So I think that these are the things that are affecting the prices of goods and services in the market.
All right.
So, in as much as the federal government is telling this to the marketers, let them start from their own aspect in the first place. And Nigeria as a whole, we should have something like a marketing board, regulation board that is concerned with regulating prices. But we don't have all these things. So how can they just stay in Abuja and give ultimatum to work traders to crash down prices and think that it will work? I don't think that will work, but the federal government should do the needful before giving this threat. That is my take, my brother.
All right, thank you very much, Obina. I've got Hector from Ogbogoro. Hector, welcome. Hector, I'd like to hear what is on your mind. Please tell me.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Kate.
Yeah, good afternoon.
The federal government ordering traders to reduce the market price. So it sounds laughable. It is an empty threat as far as I'm concerned, lacking secret backing. In an economic market, prices are influenced by various factors, including production and transportation. Now, in Nigeria, these factors are heavily dependent on petroleum and diesel price. Until the government address the issue of petrol, diesel, and gas by revitalizing our refineries and promoting modular refineries, this order will remain petrol. As far as I'm concerned. So we are not in a military regime. We are a head of state. We just wake up and pass a degree or research and expect it to work. So until these modalities be put in place, I don't think that this order is anything to go by.
All right.
Then secondly and finally, the government is also looking into the direction of privatizing the refineries. Is it not the same thing that the candidate of the presidential candidate also promised? And then people were mocking at him, laughing at him. Finally, you see the reason why sometimes it's also good to take advice from opposition parties. If we really smoking a good government.
All right, thank you very much, Hector. I've got Emeka from Elele Alimini. Emeka, welcome.
Yes, my dear brother, good evening. So, I want to contribute on regard to the refinery.
Okay.
If the federal government is genuinely know that the refinery will work, because I'm still doubting them now. Because this refinery issue has been lingering since Buhari till now. We are still talking about refinery, maintenance. Buhari have ruled refinery. Tinubu have entered refinery. If the refinery is really working, or if we want to work this year, they should hand over that refinery to private individual to manage that refinery, for them to run it, and also give them a matching order that they should not that 1 liter they will say 1 liter up to 200 or 150. So this refinery issue, we are tired of it. They are coming every day. Refinery will work today. Refinery will work tomorrow. Refinery will work next month. So they should tell Nigeria the truth of the matter.
All right.
I want to use this opportunity also to thank the caretaker committee chairman of
Emeka, I'm sorry, we don't do that. We don't do that on the show. Moving on, please. I've got this one. This one says, "Greetings, Canada. On the call to crash prices of foodstuff, truth be told, outside the fuel subsidy removal by the federal government, most states in the southeast do not farm in large scale. Neither do the governors here invest in agriculture. State government are busy wasting the proceeds of the subsidy removal on empowerment, propaganda, and building of personal political structures amidst high misery situation." Yes, President Tinubu discontinued fuel subsidy, but who's squandering the proceeds of the subsidy removal now in Rivers State? For instance, the governor and his political usurpers at the LGA's level invest the proceeds of the subsidy removal in food production or engage in subsidizing essential commodities in Rivers State. Will Rivers people still suffer from the effect of fuel subsidy removal? I think we need to channel more of our questions and criticism to some of these emperor governors, starting with the River State Governor, Emi Fiaga, with his own opinion there. This one says, "Good afternoon. Federal government should start by reducing the fuel price." And this is coming from Chidima, who is currently at Rumosi. This one says, "Kidnapping in Southeast will reduce if Nnamdi is released. Criminals hide under the umbrella of agitators to go into crime because police have run away from most of the Southeast communities." Hector, I think you've had your time. You called in, so I'm going to skip your message. This one says, "The federal government should stop chasing shadows and address the issue of ever-increasing petroleum product as it affects the price of food commodities. And if they are really serious, the reduction in the price of foodstuff, then they should reverse the removal of fuel subsidy, as the action will naturally bring down the price of commodities." Woyiko Tanaka from Elele. I've got Promise from Rumo Demaya. Promise, welcome. Tell me what is on your mind.
Okay, my brother.
Yeah, welcome, Promise.
If you ask me, I would say I think the government just need to do two things. And one of it is creating job employment. You understand? For the youth, whenever a youth is engaged, if a youth is engaged, I don't think there is any time that individual will think of committing or perpetrating any crime. Secondly, I think the government needs to preach this peace and conflict, introduce it to our higher institutions, to the secondary schools, down to the primary schools as their subject. So that even from primary school, every child will be sensitized, a kind of sensitization, knowing the difference between crime and being free from crime. And the way they should go about it, if you ask me, I would say, just as they send people to carry out census, this population of to different houses, this is for those persons that may not have the opportunity to go to school. You take it down to their doorstep, the way you send people for census, the way you send people for immunization of a thing. You take this sensitization to their doorstep And in so doing, you are as well creating job employment for youth, for these persons that will be taking this message down to their doorsteps. You are as well creating job employment, engaging the youth. Before you know it, my brother, nobody will think of crime. Right. You know, they say that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So I think that's my own contribution. Thank you. Ejeku promise for more.
All right, thank you very much. J.A.J. from Port Harcourt Township, welcome on the show.
Yeah, Kalada, good afternoon. Kalada.
I can hear you.
This is Let's Talk, right? Or Hard Facts?
It's Hard Facts, but we can also talk. We can also talk.
Huh?
We can talk.
Where is our 40,000 naira right? Kalada, I'm asking. I expect you.
I'm not the spokes. I'm not Ajurin Gelale. I don't think there's any Ajurin in my name. So JJ, go ahead.
And you want traders to bring down their price. Is it the traders that jack up the price, or the situation we find ourselves? Canada, we are here on the 29th of May 2023. The president told us that subsidy is gone. A liter of fuel as at when I just bought now is 900 naira. I bought for 1,000 2 days ago. Canada, can you beat that?
So currently, JJ, you're telling me it's 900 naira, yeah?
Yeah, I said I bought for 900 naira. Now.
Okay.
Like yesterday now.
Yeah, okay.
So what are you telling me?
Okay.
If we move from 200 naira per liter to 900 naira per liter, and you know the importance of petrol in whatever we do in this country, you want price to fall? Why are we like this, for goodness sake? But our people say that somebody that this snake has beaten before, when he sees anything long, he will want to run.
Okay.
If we say we want to hand over the refineries to people to run, I hope it not be like the NEPA thing, where the people are running. We are also the ones repairing transformer. I've repaired transformer in my area before.
Okay.
I hope it not be like that.
Okay.
Or you sell it outrightly for people who have the technical know-how. Because if you're bidding for this thing, there are two bids. One, commercial. Two, technical.
All right.
So check it very well and check their technical know-how. These people that are running PhD and all those PhD whatever, they have not produced candle anywhere before in their entire life. So what do you expect? Inefficiency all around. If they can do that, fine. But for the price of wood, let us bring down the price of petrol, and you see things falling like pack of cards.
All right, no question. I'm not Ajurin Gelale once again, but JJ, thank you very much for your time. All right, I'm going to read Okechiku's message on X. He says, "Good afternoon, Kalada." Okechiku texting from Rumokoro. If the government wants the traders to crash food prices, it must start from Aso Rock. Let them crash the fuel price first. Then every other thing in the country will crash. Make the government show working, like we say in our parlance. Thank you, Kechuku. And you keep listening. This one on WhatsApp says, the federal government ordering traders to crash prices of food items is ridiculous. How many times have they asked NNPCL to fix the refineries? Do they know that the high cost of petroleum products affects the cost of transportation? Have they stopped the insecurity and grazing on farmlands? God is watching. This one says, the issue of refinery would be settled by Nigeria through elections. By 2027 elections, we would know Nigerians whether they are voters or INEC staff that have one brain and have used the brain to acquire knowledge. Two, that they use the you say by 2027 we would know Nigerians whether they have voters or INEC staff that have one brain and have used the brain to acquire knowledge. Two, that they use the knowledge they have to take decision on matters that affects them. Nigeria energy sector is where we anchor our living on. One, the government said when they remove subsidy, money would be saved, and the money they announced initially when they started was much. The Nigeria refineries that refused to make them work. That's two. Three, give crude to Dangote. They are going back and forth. 4, they are telling you they want to bring CNG cars. Where are they producing CNG in Nigeria? They're still importing it as other petroleum products. 5, so what is the reason not to make refinery work in Nigeria with all the money saved from subsidy? 2027, which reason would you give to vote or rig election in favor of the present government? Thanks, Julius from Port Harcourt. All right, what a write-up. Found it confusing at some point, but thank you nonetheless. My question is, are they going to fix the refinery before privatizing it? Malik, they're already trying to fix the refineries. I mean, so much money has been spent in trying to fix the Warri and Kaduna. Remember, they told us the refineries, Warri and Kaduna, should come into operation or should be operational by December. They told us that. This one says, Mr. Battleball, the high price of petroleum engineer. I don't get this part. So the high price of petroleum engineering, the high cost of goods and food stock. It's quite unfortunate that Nigeria is passing through the bad economic policy. This reveals that the nation's challenges have grown beyond the capabilities of the present administration. I want to take Clinton West with that one. This is good afternoon, Nigeria Info, 92.3 FM. How are you all doing today? Okay, all right. That message is not for us. Moving on, this just says concerning the refinery, we should understand that private individuals would not reduce the cost of fuel if it is being handled by them. This is because the amount of money they pay to the FG to acquire the refinery would be gotten first, and that would not be too soon for them to reduce it. Example, PHED. Amy, thank you very much. I'm looking at this one. It said the solution to Nigeria's problem is simple. Bring down the price of PMS and watch everything solve itself. Greetings, Nigeria Info. Jonah Ameufule from Omuma. All right, thank you very much. I'm going to Facebook now. Let's see. Austin Aseminachimbo Asechimie. I hope I pronounced your name well. Sorry about that. So the most irrational thing to do is like saying federal government give themselves order to crash price of fuel. What kind of country is this, for God's sake? Telling traders to run their businesses at a loss, considering the cost of transportation, rising price will not enable them to break even. All right, Austin, thank you very much. Okay, I'm looking for more contributions therein because it's almost time for me to go in for another commercial break. Another commercial break is upon us. All right, should I squeeze in one more call? Okay, one more call then. Hello. Yes, you've got 60 seconds. Let's get what is on your mind, please.
Yes, good evening, Canada. Obed, my name.
All right, Obed, quickly.
Yes, Canada, is it a consumer protection statement?
Something like that.
I think there are so many things to factor in on that very statement. Yes, Canada, the cost of fuel can rise the cost of commodity. And when you go out on the road, I made a query, a certain trader that comes from north, when he is conveying his goods from down north to the south here, he told me the kind of amount he paid on the road. That alone can increase the price of commodity. So there are several things. You can't just come out and issue statement because you assume office just yesterday. They want people to hear your voice without considering, what is on ground. So what is happening right now?
You are tuned in.
I got to go.
Nigeria Info. We'll be right back after this.